Hello and welcome to the House of the Spirit. Welcome home. Today we're going to have a reading about what is happening behind the scenes for you. So, pile number 1, we have Aries, Taurus, Scorpio, and Cancer. Your card is the Rar. And behind the scenes, we have rich, good gentleman. Okay, let's put it here. For pile number 2, we have Pisces, Sagittarius, Aquarius, and Libra. Your card is Arval Parrot. And behind the scenes, we have a long way. Okay. Pile number 3, we have Virgo, Gemini, Capricorn, and Leo. Your card is the Maiden. And behind the scenes, we have living room. Okay. So, I will give you a moment for you to choose your pile using the cards, the zodiac signs, or just your intuition. I will see you in your reading. Pile number 1. So your card is the Rar for what is happening behind the scenes. And this card indicates that there's a lot of raw energy in this situation. There's a lot of power. There's a lot of potential that needs to be grounded. But you had behind this the card Rich Good Gentleman. And Rich Good Gentleman is a very good card, very auspicious for finances and anything material. It means that you are somehow blessed or lucky in that sense. So maybe there's a lot of potential in the energy at the moment for you to accomplish a lot in that area of your life. But it might not be. So you might be getting an opportunity and it's still up in the air, like the Rar. It's still up in the air. Maybe someone is considering the option of working with you or the option of giving you something, giving you this opportunity or this material assets, material resources. Okay, so let's get one card from each of these piles. Okay. Yeah, this one. Let's see. Okay, we have Athena. Okay, let's put it here. We have the 23rd moon mansion with confession. And the black moon or the new moon in air, dormant stage, and the keyword is revision. Revision. So while you were unaware of the situation, someone is revisiting an interaction with you. That's what I'm sensing. Someone is revisiting that interaction. It seems like it's someone very strategic, very rational, someone who chooses their battles and the strategies they adopt very wisely. They use their energy very wisely. They might also be someone with whom you have had a conversation that was mutually there was a sharing of something personal. I wouldn't say intimate, like doesn't seem like it's romantic, but it seems like there's a connection there. There's some sort of there's a sense of partnership, and there's honesty in the sharing. That's what I feel like. You can trust this person, and this person also feels the same about you. And maybe you've shared something, opinions, or even strategies, or views of the world, or views of your work. Or maybe this is something that's related to your job or to a project that you're committed to at the moment. It's someone who is on your side and you're also on their side. It's like there's this mutual agreement that you're working together, even if you're not working together yet. But there's this there's this energy that connects you. There's also something yet to be revealed here. There's a certain piece of information. Maybe it is a secret, because there are two black moons here. There's a black moon behind that tree, and the leaves of the tree, their mouths, their sealed lips. So there's a lot of energy in a secret. And maybe that secret will also start a process of revision for you. Okay, let's see. Behind the scenes for a pile. Number 1. Mercury in Aquarius with originality. Mercury in Taurus with resistance. Moon in Taurus with exaltation. Mars in Scorpio with revenge. And Moon in Virgo with order. Interesting. So there's a lot of Mercury here because Athena is Gemini. And then you have Venus, Mercury energy with confession. And then you have Mercury in Aquarius, Mercury in Taurus. I feel like this is saying something about the communication style, or something that happened. There's something specific that happened in a conversation that you had, or that someone is having. Is this you? I do feel like this is you. Let me check if this is you, or if the conversation itself is something that happened behind the scenes. 8 of Pentacles. that didn't really clarify. So is this conversation? Okay, yeah, the Empress. I feel like this is you. So you had a conversation that kind of echoed through time. It seems like it was a conversation that you had in a work context, workplace, or like a work phone call. There was some sort of connection made during work or for the sake of work. And what you said made some sort of an impact on that person. I felt like you came across as a very powerful person with a lot of inner resources, but also with the intent to serve. I feel like there is this energy here of serving a higher purpose with Athena. And now I'm seeing that maybe this person wasn't really listening. They didn't understand you at the time, but something grew, okay? Something grew in them, something like what you said, the idea itself, the concept, or just the feeling of connecting with you, it grew. It expanded their perception somehow. And I feel like you're getting something back from that. Something that might also repeat itself in time. So you're getting something that will work for one or more, two or more, time. It's not once. It's not something that will, okay, here you go. There's this and it's done. It feels like it can be a partnership. It can be a regular collaboration, or it can be something that lasts for maybe forever, maybe for the rest of your life. It's like it's something that is done, and once it's done, it's stable. Seven of Swords. This cloaked energy here, we'll go into it. It doesn't seem like it's exactly like bad, or that there's this evil intention in cloaking or in hiding, in delaying or withholding information. I feel like there's this need to understand, this need to deepen the perception, to expand also, to expand, to grow, for the idea to grow. This is also telling me that it's better to wait, because it's like the energies are a bit confused. And the revision aspect of this is what is turning things around. This revenge card for me is a turnaround. And the turnaround is quick, but the establishment of the process itself might take some time, and also arriving at that conclusion. So there has to be this period of revision. So there's a moment when the mouths are shut and there's silence and there's blackness. There's this kind of void, okay? And it's like a cloak that is hiding what is happening. 10 of Swords. This might be something that worries you. This might be something that creates a lot of like this sense of maybe not seeing where to go next, not seeing how things can evolve like this. Like there's no way things could work like this. And it's true, because this cloaked energy has to be revealed. This person has to come forth. They have to tell you, like, I've considered, I think that we can make this work, and it could be something that establishes itself and that is very fruitful for everyone. Four of Pentacles. Sometimes these two come together and they're both playing chess. So this also, to me, indicates this need to be very, not be impulsive, to think things through, to consider all the options, to take your time, to strategize. So these two came together. We have the Nine of Cups and the Two of Swords. It seems like there's the potential here to a lot of great things for many, for all the people involved. So this is telling me that you have to maybe keep your options open while this thing, whatever it is, this process is not yet gaining momentum and gaining its final shape. To hope for the best, to think that everything is possible, anything is possible. And the Ra is really potential energy and enormous energy. So in order to put this in the earth, because it's completely ungrounded, take your time, let it seep, I think that's the correct word, into your psyche and into the various areas of your life and the various feelings that you have. There's this need to let something really, it's germinating, okay? It's still in its very raw potential form. And it feels to me like the guiding principle here is the principle of serving others. So to consider your strategy this way. So what can I do that serves the most amount of people and that does the greatest amount of good? So what is in me that can serve others and bring them the abundance that I also want for myself? So how can I expand this? How can I keep this? Because it needs to be kept open. It needs to be kept fresh and with air, like circulation. That's what I'm seeing. It's like when you have a plant, like a house plant, and maybe it doesn't need a lot of sun, it doesn't need direct sunlight, but it needs fresh air. So it can be hidden, it can be in the shade, it can be cloaked, it can be kind of dormant, but it still needs air. It's like the air is the symbol for hope, for growth, for a potential of expansion, for getting new ideas, for letting the energy flow while also being concentrated on creating this strategy. Okay. Knight of Wands. Sorry for that. So you have the Star. And the Three of Cups. Okay, let me get the last row. And then Four of Wands. Two of Wands, and the Hanged Man. I feel like there's some kind of art or enjoyment in waiting for something to happen. There's something that you're doing while you're waiting for this that's very important also. It's like there's some kind of treasure in the waiting. There's something of great value that you will only discover if you wait. There's also the timing thing, the sense of opportunity. Sense of opportunity. Because this is involving other people. Okay, now I understand. This is something that involves, so there's this person with that you exchanged some conversation, ideas with, and that person is also considering other people, not for the same role, but it's like they want people to join. They want people to work together. It's like they're seeing a picture of maybe a team or a group, special group. And the energies need to match, but it's also a timing thing. So maybe someone here has something happening in their life that might be in the way. But I feel like it's also giving you the opportunity to open up the scope of this, to amplify, to make it grow even more. Now I'm thinking that this person is also expecting you to show them that you can make it grow even more, or that there's much more than what you think to what you're doing. So imagine this. It's like, okay, you go to someone and you say, I want to write a book and I have this idea and I'm making it, I'm looking at the Empress. So let's say that I'm making it about birds. This is a book about birds. And that person says, that's very interesting. Let's see how this can fit in our project, and we'll get back to you. But then you study birds, and you're expanding your knowledge. You increase your perception of what your study motive is, what your subject is, and then you think that you figure out, or you find out something about yourself that's really more connected to flying. And flying includes, for instance, the butterflies. So maybe now you want to make a book not only about birds, but also about everything that flies. So insects and all the different shapes and sizes of flying animals. Maybe even you can include like man-made objects, so everything that flies. So imagine that the concept of the book is flying, everything that flies, the feeling of flying, even for humans, flying or floating in the air, or being somehow being off the ground. So it's like it's more. It's like a bubble that expands. So it includes more concepts, more ideas, more feelings, this spiritual connection also maybe. So it feels to me like that person looks at you and they think, I don't know, maybe she's not ambitious enough, or he or she, because I'm looking at the Empress, and I'm thinking at I'm thinking of an empress, but it doesn't matter. The gender doesn't matter here. So maybe this person is it's not, they're not thinking big enough. They want ambition, but it has to be something that serves others. It has to be something that is not only useful but also spiritually useful, okay? So spiritually meaningful. And I am sensing that this upside down perspective of the Hanged Man is going to give you some sort of perspective on that. It's like you need to see the other side, or you need to see things from a specific perception. To have a specific perception of the issue. I'm getting something else here. That there's another side to this, that maybe you also need to eliminate something from what you are doing so that that person sees the potential for growth. They already see the potential, okay, because the energy is there. It's there's no way to hide it. There's no way you can suppress the raw, okay? It's so in your face. But I think that you have to eliminate something also, and that comes from that expansion. And it's funny because it's also a flying, I don't know why I'm focusing on birds and insects and flying things, all things that fly. Oh, now I heard this won't fly. And it's like, okay, everything is fine except for that. And that has to go. And when you decide to say, okay, that has to go, cut it off, cut it away from this, everything starts to fit into place, in its due place. You have to eliminate something for this to grow. Maybe it's kind of a pest. So if we go back to that plant analogy that needs the draft and the air circulating, it needs the freedom. Something needs to go. Maybe it has some sort of a bug. There's something plaguing that plant. But you'll see it when you really approach this strategically, and when you understand all the implications, even the implications of signing contracts, because there's the Four of Wands here. There's also this establishment of the order, and it's the Four of Wands and order. So it feels like something is written down, like this is the new order of things. This is how things are going to work in a pattern that is understandable, and that is accepted by everyone involved. There's an agreement and there's a deal that is signed here, even if it's just figuratively speaking, but something needs to go. And I feel like it's up to you. It's something that's truly up to you. It's kind of a spiritual decision. It might not be very rational. It can be something that is like very deeply rooted in your psyche. It can be a connection that you feel like a spiritual connection, like when we have contracts, like soul contracts. Okay, now I'm talking about something really big, potentially. So maybe there's a part of a soul contract that needs to go, and you have to revise that contract so that the air can continue to breathe life into something that is really important to you, because other people are also sensing that maybe you won't grow if you continue on this path. Something needs to go. Because the main thing here is for you to keep having hope and faith in achieving your dreams. So you really need to be strategic here, because if you keep some, there are some pieces that need to be sacrificed, like in the chess game. Okay, there's the need to sacrifice this bug here. You won't miss it. It's because the strategy and the Nine of Cups, the end goal is your objective. And once you sacrifice that piece, people see you as bigger than they thought, more powerful, more expansive. It's like they see your potential, they see your full potential, because they already see your potential. There's a lot of energy here, but they see how you can materialize your potential. And once they see that, they will be with you, they will be behind you, they will support your cause, and they will also want to work with you, and they want to establish some kind of order with you. Okay, thank you so much. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 2. Your card is Arval Parrot. This is all about communication, using your verbal skills, increasing your verbal skills, or just also listening and being really good at understanding the concepts that are being communicated, and using that flow, that channel wisely. Okay. And then behind the scenes, you had a long way. So this can mean a lot of things, really, because this a long way can mean that you're almost reaching your goal. You're so close, but it's also something that needs a long time to flourish, to establish itself, or to come to a conclusion. Okay. Let's get you one card from each of these. So, what is happening behind the scenes for pile number 2? We have Demeter, the musician, with the second moon mention. Okay, like this. And we have the waning crescent moon, the seed stage, and the keyword is to yield. Yield. Okay. What else do we have for pile number 2, happening behind the scenes? We have Venus in Taurus with romance. Saturn in Sagittarius with fulfillment. Jupiter in Capricorn with control. Moon in Aquarius with independence. And Mercury in Leo with drama. It seems like there's a lot happening behind the scenes. I'm not yet sure if the communications are happening behind the scenes or if you're a part of them. I think that if you're not a part of them yet, you're going to be involved in something, an interaction or a conversation. Involved in a conversation. So now that I get this picture here, these cards together, I think that some of them are about you and others are about someone else or the other people involved in a situation. It feels like there's a certain, there's a story unfolding. It's a long story. It's a really long story, it seems to me. And it seems like there's the possibility of closure or some sort of development in this situation. And I feel like yield. It could mean that you would have to yield your position to another person, or that you would have to achieve some sort of compromise, some sort of deal would need to be harmonized and balanced. And the meter is also a little bit about that, about finding the balanced position, finding the correct position. But it's also about precision, a bit like Virgo, a bit like the Virgo energy, methodical, precise, like the specific amount of whatever. And I feel like you are being prepared to speak your mind, to express your true self in something. And it's there's a build-up up to that, until that happens, up to that moment. It feels like I'm reading a romance, like I'm reading a book, a huge book, like a really huge, thick book. And I'm almost at the finishing pages. I'm almost there. And suddenly, one of the characters that was possibly silent for most of the romance, most of the story, suddenly speaks up and changes everything and just solves the puzzle or solves the energy and makes it, redeems something. There's something that is like a divinely inspired intervention. And it seems like it's you, because you have the musician, you have just the right word or just the right time, just the right action that you need to take. Sorry. This has something, is something that is very connected to your life, your whole life, like your whole life process, your life's mission, the things that you have learned. It seems like there's this concentration in that moment of everything, like accumulation of that in that moment. And it's a certain burst of energy there. It seems like it's so strong that other people, they want to retreat from that. They want to give you the stage, let's say. They want to allow you to have your moment. That's so interesting. The Fool. It might be something that you've never done before. So it seems like it's an accumulation of all the knowledge, all the experience, but it's something different. It's something else. It's a complete jump into the unknown for you. Slow down. This is the Page of Pentacles. To me, it's characterizing a new chapter. This new chapter, what is it about? Celebration. Three of Cups. It's about joining other people in celebration. And the Three of Cups is a lot about spontaneity and honesty and purity and the expression of love that's unashamed, that's without inhibition. There's nothing hiding. So maybe not hiding. So this is about not hiding. And what's interesting is that now I'm getting this energy that behind the scenes is actually you. You are the one behind the scenes. Let me just get the candle because it just went out and I want to see it shining for you. Okay, that's better. So, where is this taking you? Wow, the Tower. And the Two of Cups. Affability. It's connection, okay? So I feel like this Tower is possibly going to make you a bit vulnerable, so a bit exposed. It's like your heart is sent out into the world and it's out there, it's exposed, it's seen. Seven of Cups, projections. Silence. And innocence. So to me, it's going to be a rite of passage, but it's also going to be you breaking silence, coming forth with the truth, expressing your truth. This reading is all about expressing truth. It's all about you saying exactly what you feel, how you feel, what you think, why, everything without any inhibition. And this happens because it's like God wrote it. So imagine if this romance is your story and you're part of life that is designed by God, that is full of God's design. That's more maybe a better way to put it. And you coming forth and expressing your feelings, this can be through art, okay? There's a musician here. So you exhibiting this artful, soulful piece of you, um, putting it out on display, making it visible for everyone or for a large group of people. At least this is what it seems to me, because you have the Tower here and then you have the Two of Cups. It seems like there's this like lightning, okay? There's this connection with the chaotic outside, the thing that you're never going to predict, you're never going to understand completely, because it's God's design. And when I see Jupiter in Capricorn here, I'm the control. It's like God is in control. It's like you sense that happens. That's what happens in your life. So because you express yourself freely and with the purity that you need, God shows it's like God shows you how he works through you. Laziness, Nine of Cups. Delay with the Four of Swords. And then you have these two coming together. Stuck in the past with the Five of Cups, and hurt with the Nine of Swords. This is really interesting because this is like the advice row many times in my readings, not always, but in this specific reading. So you have cups, swords, cups, swords. It feels like this is what you need to do about this, and this is what you need to do about this. So if things are delayed, you need to enjoy yourself. You need to feel the pleasures of life, the joy that is in life, everything that you are, let's say, entitled to, that doesn't hurt anyone. So everything that you can enjoy it thoroughly, because there will come a time. Your time will come, and the moment is coming. I also feel like you're not going to wait a long time. And regarding the hurt and the stuck in the past, I feel like when you feel like there's a lot of hurt that you might be expressing, because I feel like sometimes you might there's something that inhibits your communication because it's hurtful. It can be hurtful for others. It can also be hurtful for yourself, like to hear yourself saying certain things or to just let them flow through you. It's a kind of electricity that is, it can be annoying. It can be even uncomfortable, physically uncomfortable. So if you're not comfortable expressing certain concepts and certain feelings, I would say that you can always go to through your memories. Okay. Because I'm seeing this box full of stuff here, and it's like mouths speaking and flowers, and there's a movie, like a celluloid strip here. You know what? I would say that enjoying things from your past, like seeing photos or seeing movies, listening to music, talking to people who remember you when you were a child, I feel like there's something there. So stuck in the past might mean that there's something stuck in the past that needs to be made present so that it's allowed to be expressed, but in a beautiful way, because there's There's a lot of fun here, actually, although this card is not always very positive. Five of Cups, of course. It's about disappointment. But in your case, I feel like the advice here is that you address something about that disappointment and that sadness that you might also need to express, because it's a part of your story. Something is a part of your story that you need to respect and that you need to embrace in this expression, okay? Stuck in the past. So interesting. It's stuck in the past, but it's actually a good thing. It seems like it's something that also can also give you pleasure. It can help you understand yourself and even liberate you from its own weight if you express it. But maybe you need to find a specific way of expressing. And don't forget, we have Arval Parrot here, and Arval Parrot is about being very good at communicating, and sometimes that implies that we need to enrich our thinking and our reason and our lexicon. We need to enrich it with movies, with books, with interactions, with stories. We need to dive into those stories so that we also understand our own story. So behind the scenes, you are the one behind the scenes, and you are coming forth very soon through these processes of expression, self-expression, and you're opening up a new chapter in your life that's all about connection with others, pure connection with others. And it's also about you connecting with aspects of life that can be a little bit scary or daunting because they're completely out of your control. So it's this aspect of connection that's completely out of your comfort zone and your control. It's God's domain. It's God's area, okay, of control. I mean, we have absolutely almost no control over anything in this life. That's at least my belief. But sometimes we have that idea. I feel like we have the idea of control much more than we do have actual control. But yeah, that would be a whole conversation. Beautiful. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 3, your card is the Maiden. And there are many aspects of the Maiden, but one of them can also be that something needs to be sheltered or protected. And the Maiden has some aspects that are similar to the Empress. So it's about growth, but it's also about something that is now starting, that is in the beginning stages. There's this innocence, this purity, a lot of positivity. It's a beautiful, beautiful card. It's happy, okay? There's joy and happiness, and it's a simple type of joy and happiness that is accessible with purity of heart. But to me, because you also have the living room, and the living room is what happens behind the scenes. The living room, I feel like the privacy and the protection aspect, the shelter aspect of this card, it just comes up much more prominently because the living room is also about intimacy or privacy, protection, feeling at home. So something needs to be protected, maybe sheltered for now. Okay, so what is happening behind the scenes for pile number 3? Okay. Okay. We have Hera. Even the colors are matching a bit. We have the 28th moon mansion, and this is the sleeper. And then we have the last quarter moon, decreasing in water. This is the fall stage, and the keyword is manipulation. So this is already telling me that you might have a lot of feelings that are bubbling below the surface and that need to be addressed, but that you might have to wait for a while before you do so, because it's like you have to let other people do their thing and you have to wait for them to be ready, maybe. And while you are doing that, of course, a lot of things are happening that you're not aware of. But the thing is that I feel like there's already some sort of advice here that I will confirm later. That's about you sheltering and protecting your ideas and the things that you want to do, your desires, your dreams, and maybe not speaking about them with anyone, at least for now. So I feel like you have to wait. You have to wait for the right time. It's not yet. We'll get to that. But while you are at it, while you're waiting, there's some nurturing here also. Either you need to nurture yourself. It's like you need to rest, maybe. There's a period of rest here that you need to focus on. And that you need to, I feel like you need to eat something specific, which is interesting. Maybe there's some sort of kind, like a diet, a specific diet that would be really beneficial for you right now. Something that you would give you some sort of power, okay, if you ingest it. So maybe there's some kind of adjustment that you can make in your diet to make you feel better, less tired, to sleep better, to improve the quality of sleep. Also, maybe the timing. So when we eat just before bed, sometimes it's really bad for sleep because the body is worried with digestion instead of being in a restful state. But there's so much more. Okay. Saturn in Aquarius with eccentricity. Mercury in Taurus with resistance. Sun in Gemini with versatility. Mars in Pisces with escape. Sun in Leo with fortune. It looks like you're planning something already. You have a plan, or you have an idea. You have a good vision of what you want to do. Making it clearer can always help. It always helps to clarify what you want, to have a very detailed and specific vision. It always helps with the materialization of it. But I feel like you need to kind of not be sneaky, but be to adapt to circumstances around you and to other people's visions and opinions, even in a way that doesn't expose too much of what you're doing, because I feel like if you do, you will encounter a lot more resistance. And this happens because I feel like people will see you as a crazy person. Like they think that what you're saying is crazy, what you're saying isn't a good plan. They will criticize it, they will destroy it. And I feel like you can escape that energy. You can even use that energy to protect you, to protect what you want to do. So you need to do other stuff and keep that dormant for now. Keep that under wraps and protected, because I feel like it's a great opportunity for growth for you. It's something that will give you a lot of abundance. Maybe that's also a part of your, it will even change what you eat. I don't know why I'm seeing just a lot of images about eating and about the meals. I don't know how you plan your meals, what you eat, what you choose to eat. And also because Hera has brings the energy of Cancer and has this maternal aspect to her, accepting of all the little quirkinesses of the family members and all the little quarrels and conflicts that might occur. She's kind of embracing all of that and protecting everyone, even though she might not agree with what is happening. And she's always nourishing, and she's always there and supportive there. So there's that aspect that I feel like it's the best approach for you, to be there, but also to protect your ideas and to protect your dreams and your visions. And this might be because behind the scenes, so what you don't see is that other people, they see you as a bit eccentric. Okay, I feel like there's a lot of resistance to your ideas and to your visions. Oh, okay. Seven of Wands, protecting your space, your beliefs, standing up for what you believe in, but in a way that is protective, in a way that is shielding more. So it's more defensive than just attacking, let's say. Temperance. King of Swords. And the Hermit. Yeah, I do feel like this is the time to strategize and to understand yourself, to understand your plans, your visions, to be methodical and precise. I feel like you already are. I feel like you already have a clear vision. The thing is how to bring people on board with you and how to make them understand and see your position. And I feel like that's the challenge here. That's the tricky part here. So I do feel like for now, because of the energies that are not seen by you, it's better to keep those to yourself, to nurture them in secret. Death. And the Devil. Wow. you know what? This is telling me that don't speak to anyone. Don't speak to anyone about your ideas until they're done. Only when they're done. Only when it's impossible to hide them. Only when they're so visible that it's impossible to hide them. So it's actually a bit like pile number 2. So you're actually the one who is also acting behind the scenes. So the behind the scenes theme is actually about a part of yourself. And it's also about the energies around you and the things that they're not right in front of you. And maybe people will resist your ideas and they will say, yeah, okay, fantastic, that's a great idea, but they really don't agree with you. They don't want to be on board with what you're doing. Maybe that's the case. But I feel like the behind the scenes, the energy of behind the scenes is actually you understanding this and nourishing this idea in private and with yourself. 5 of Wands. The High Priestess. 10 of Swords. I feel like you know that there are some people who have a conflict with what you're doing. They have a disagreement with you about this. You some of these people, you know, it's clear for you. I feel like you understand that that's their opinion and their stance. Maybe you had conversations before about this theme and you understood their position, and that's fine. There are also other people that might be a little bit backstabbing. So that's why you should be careful. And you should protect yourself. So what's the advice? Whoa, okay. Queen of Cups. Ten of Cups. And then you have together the Knight of Swords and the King of Wands. So it feels like there's this sense of certainty, okay, already like inbuilt into what you're doing. So it actually doesn't matter what people would say, because this would happen anyway, and it feels like very soon they will also acknowledge that. But you still need to protect it. That's interesting. So because you have the Queen of Cups and the Ten of Cups, maybe this is something related to your own feelings, and maybe you exposing this idea to certain people or to a lot of people would change how you feel about it. And that's what would maybe interfere with this picture, because it feels like you already it's sort of already consolidated in your energy field. It's like it's all but certain. But other people bring uncertainty. It's the other people that bring uncertainty, and they're the ones who will be proven wrong, and they will only be shown the truth when it's already done. And then their reaction will be swift also. their reaction, they will react. They are reactive and they will react, and there's energy there. There are ideas that are coming towards you, but you're established and you're like the center of your own, how do I say this? It's like you're at the center of that picture. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't change how you feel. It just changes how other people feel. Also, you might be interested, I don't know, in what is this reaction? Because this reaction can also indicate what's happening behind the scenes from your perspective. So what you're not seeing, specifically about the people who will then react. Four of Swords. And the Knight of Cups. There will be a reaction, but I also feel like the reaction is going to be different for everyone. There might be different aspects to how this will affect you. And maybe some people will actually also surprise you. It's like, I didn't know you felt that way. I never realized you felt that way. It's also interesting that there's something about what you're doing that the people who will see it need, which is another layer of the reaction. It's like, I needed that to happen. I needed to see that happening. I needed to see something about you. I needed to understand something about you, maybe. But it's strange, right? That there are people who would undermine what you're doing because they would think that it's crazy. But then actually also saying, I needed that. I needed to hear that. I needed to know that about you. I don't know. It's so strange, right? It seems like they're like blissfully ignorant about something, and they will only realize the power that it holds because you do this in this way, in this strange way. It's like your strangeness is somehow also illuminating for them. Although they resist it, they also are enlightened by it. I don't know how to explain this. This is really strange. It's like, I feel like I'm conflicted. So if I have this inner conflict with something, I don't know if I am drawn to it, if I am attracted to it, or if I'm repulsed. I'm kind of like, it's both. Mixed feelings. It's this crazy, strange position to be in because it's a dissonance, okay? It's like cognitive dissonance. It's strange. So yeah, now I understand that this energy, this cognitive dissonance wouldn't really help your situation at all. And maybe if you also have it, even if it's a tiny amount, that would be a great reason to not expose something that you are treasuring and something that you consider sacred or beautiful, or that it's like a dream for you, that it's a beautiful expression of love, or a great idea for the future that you have, for the future that you are idealizing. It's great that you're sheltering it from this, but maybe this dissonance is also a little bit part of in you, partly in you. And so going through that process of silently and quietly sheltering this precious thing can be the way that you solve that cognitive dissonance. It's a way of healing. Although it seems confusing, it looks really confusing, and maybe I'm also expressing that confusion in the way that I'm speaking, but this is it's an awkward process, and I actually feel awkwardness, like I'm confronted with something that makes me feel awkward, embarrassed. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think, how to act. It's like a protocol that I don't understand. Like, what should I do? Where should I stand? What do I say? How does this work? How does this apply? There's some kind of awkwardness here. Maybe that awkwardness also resides a little bit in you, and you need to deal with it in private and deal with it in silence and with yourself before you expose it out into the elements and to other people to see, for other people to see. And there's also an aspect here that I'm going to go into that layer of the reading again, of the nutrition. There's something about food also here, and I don't know how this can apply, but there's something that would change your health, maybe even because you have temperance. It would make your sleep better. And somehow this is also about the sheltering, okay? The protection, the resting, the safety. Creating a safe place and a healing place for yourself. And nourishing yourself while you're doing that with the things that you need. Type of food, diet, a way of the way you plan your meals. So for instance, not eating before sleep because you have the need for sleep here, and this card is also about resting and the need for rest. Taking care of yourself. Taking care of yourself. Thinking about taking care of yourself. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.